That pitch and attempts by the groundsman to dry out the pitch. Well, he's been very successful. We have ideal conditions for good, fast-flowing rugby. Hardly a breath of wind, just a nip in the air to keep the players on their toes. And a very good crowd here to see one of the game's giants go out here at this third round. Tremendous anticipation here at the Widnes and Wigan game. There always is, Alex, isn't there?
Yes, and what's been amazing about this game is Dougie Lawton, the Widnes coach here, Ray, he's had a problem who he's going to play number 6. He's playing Barry Dowd, and I think that is going to be a bit of a gamble. And he's put Andy Curry at number 3. I think if there's going to be a problem, it could be in them 2 positions.
Yes, it certainly could. And surprise, Alex, in Henderson Gill being brought back. 8 weeks out of the game, bad knee injury. Not
really, Ray. He's one of those players who doesn't need a lot of training, and he's a rubber bouncy ball kind of player. I noticed he'd made a switch and let him mark in the fire. That should be a great confrontation.
It certainly should, and I think, Alex, the confrontation in the pack, I mean, a lad like Kurt Sorensen and Graham West, 2 New Zealand Test players.
Well, I think there'll be a few pieces of raw meat thrown in the Widnes pack. It should be a tremendous battle between the 2 sets of forwards.
Yes, no doubt about it, and certainly these Widnes lads, they look keyed up. Derek Pike there, the 2 O'Neill brothers. A lot at stake here for Widnes. They've been leading the league for so long, but suddenly the season could go astray here at Central Park. And I'm sure there'll be a huge roar when the Wigan side eventually come out. Wigan, the best supported club in the Rugby League, an average attendance this season of over 15,000 every Sunday here, flocking to Central Park, and they haven't been disappointed. And Wigan, as we heard in Rugby League Focus earlier, no Ellery Hanley in those Wigan ranks, but coach Graham Lowe still got a very, very strong team to put before us. He lacks Joe Lydon and Dean Bell from the 3-quarter line. I'm sure those 2 backs will be missed, no doubt about it. Joe Lydon and Dean Bell have tremendous pace, but Jed Byrne there, the £40,000 capture from Salford, he's been brought in at the centre, and it's nice to see Tony Iro, the wingman there from New Zealand, recovered from concussion from the league game at Widnes last week. But Widnes too, they also lack international stars. No Tony Myler there at standoff, still troubled by knee ligaments. And what a gamble coach Doug Lawton has taken in youngster Barry Dowd there. Just left university rugby, and he's put him in the position there to mark Sean Edwards. But for me, one of the most interesting men, Henderson Gill. Graham Lowe switched him to the different spot on the wing. He's marking Martin O'Fire, the sensation from Rosslyn Park, 30 tries, top of the try scorers this season. And both of them in contention for a wing spot for the Lions tour to Australia this summer. We should have a battle there, I think, Alec.
Yes, it should be a cracking battle, Ray. I'm just looking at Fire and Gill. It looks like they've been to the same barber. They've got tremendous haircuts, and if the players are as good as what their haircuts, it should be a right cracking duel.
Yes, he certainly looks in fine trim. Henderson made a good recovery. He's had a lot of problems with knee ligament trouble. He tried to run them off earlier before Christmas, but he's been out for 2 months. But what a competitor this lad is. We all remember that try at Wembley. And Wigan then to kick off. Referee Jim Smith from Halifax. 4 seasons as a Grade 1 official, now getting some of the top games, and he deserves it. Wigan bringing up Steve Hampson to kick off. Cherry and white jerseys. Many sides in Rugby League change their strips to copy 1 or 2 of the Australian designs, but I must say, I'm a traditionalist. I prefer these hoops. Wigan already beaten Bradford Northern and Leeds to get to this position, and Widnes there in the white jerseys with the black edging on the sleeves, and an easier ride with Dewsbury and Castleford. And Sorensen already into the frame. Widnes at the top of Division 1, they've led the season all the way through, and yet suddenly last week Wigan went there and beat them in the league. But of course, as Jim Mills said in Rugby League Focus earlier on, County Cup fighters. Steve Hampson.
It should really, Ray, be a fascinating contest between these two sets, and that's nice for Henderson Gill to touch the ball so early. After 2 months off, you know, he must think, what's going on here?
Shelford. And I think already referee Jim Smith having a word with Kurt Sorensen. There's a lot of needle between these Kiwis. Kurt Sorensen, big test player for New Zealand, one of the finest forwards in the world, this lad. Not only as a runner, but as a defender. But a judge there to have fouled Shelford. Hampson to put to touch, and it's a good one. Oh, yes. Another contender for the Great Britain Tour. Won his 2 caps this season against France. Mal Reilly, the Great Britain coach, here in the stand, obviously come along to look for 1 or 2 more contenders. Graham West. That's a good ball to Burn. Hampson, good tackle though by Darren Wright. Oh, that looked a shade forward, but he got away with it. Kick. Good kick by Andy Gregory. He spotted that the Widnes defence were up very, very fast. Pushed the ball through. Nice little grubber kick. Thinking all the time, this little chunky, gritty scrum half. Widnes ball. David Hume to put the ball in. And a penalty. Jim Smith. Not quite. Yes, he is indicating foot up. Obviously, a judging that Nicky Kiss had his foot up before the ball was put in. So relief for Widnes, Alec.
Yes, and also it was very interesting, Ray. The first scrum went against Widnes then, and Nicky Kiss actually beat Mackenzie last week, 13 scrums to 3. So maybe that'll have a big burden on this game, whether it can produce the same kind of results.
It will be interesting, and of course Doug Lawton's done a lot of work on that in midweek. He had actually Colin Clark, the ex-Wigan hooker, in to show his pack 1 or 2 things.
Yes, knowing Dougie Lawton, I think he'll have got his homework right for today.
Mackenzie. Steve O'Neill, one of the 2 O'Neill brothers in this pack. Steve there at number 10 and brother Mike at number 12. 2 good servants to Widnes. Mike having played over 200 matches in the Widnes jersey. But a lot depends on that front row. And interesting to see there, Alec, Widnes moved Kurt Sorensen up to the front row.
Yes, and they've also pinched the ball from Andy Gregory, and they'll be very pleased about that. But it is a tactical move. I think Sorensen might have a little bit more fire.
That's right, Kurt Sorensen there in the number 11 jersey. Should have been in the second row, but interesting to see that against the head he went up to the front row and put the lighter man Derek Pike back in the second row. And there is Mike O'Neill. He's got Richard Ayres outside him. He'll be covered, well covered. First attack to Widnes, to Dow. Derek Pike, good footballer this lad. John Myler. Well, it's anybody's ball, play on. Now then, Martin O'Fire. Well, out by O'Fire. Well, I can't understand Widnes throwing the ball around there, really. They have another 6 tackles. They really just wanted to settle it down. That's what Steve O'Neill's doing here. Just 5 minutes gone, still no score in this 3rd round of the Silk Cup Challenge Cup tie. David Hume. Good ball, that's Andy Courier. He's lost it. No try. Referee Jim Smith, quite rightly there, allowing play on, looking for the advantage, but nobody on the Wigan side able to take it. But it shows something of the pace there.
I think the difference there, twice, was that how David Hume absolutely opened Wigan defence up with a lovely short ball. And I think anybody else, only the two players who was involved, Richard Ayres, would have had 6 points on the board for Widnes, because he split them up with a perfect time pass.
Good use of the blind side there. Steve Hampson reading that situation well, taking the ball away from those posts. Jedburn, good utility back, signed from the Salford club in the summer for £40,000. And it's certainly going to be a tough cup tie. Edwards again, that's another good kick. Oh, but well kept in by O'Fire. Now he has the pace, he likes to run across field, this lad, but a good tackle. Well followed up there by number 6 for Wigan, Sean Edwards. Pike. Well, that would have been a good pass from Pike, Alec. He would have been taken.
Yes, I think the gap was there. Derek Pike tends to read the game a little bit better than most people, and I think there was one man too many in the line. I think if Widnes are going to win this game, they've got to take chances. Like they've had 3 chances in the first 5 minutes, and they can't afford to miss chances like that against Wigan.
Widnes always seem to raise their game in the cup. Good ball from West, better ball from Goodway. Wigan, the 11-4 favourites for this Challenge Cup. Referee Jim Smith judging that was a knock-on. David Hume to put the ball up. Thackeray. Well, that looked like a stamping incident, but I don't think he made contact with anyone. That's a good ball again from Pike. We should be looking for this man, this number 8, this prop forward. Excellent ball player. And the pitch, although it's very, very sandy, I was walking on it before the kick-off, and it's in very, very good condition. It certainly has dried the pitch out from the last time viewers may remember when Bradford Northern were here and we had that slog in the mud with a 2-0 win to Wigan. Adrian Shelford looks eager to get in that scrum. Another ball to Wigan.
I think with the lad who's got the ball now, Kevin Iro, Dougie Lawton was telling me that they will move up to him a lot quicker, because when he scored a try last week against them, the Widnes, he ran right along the 3-quarter line and knocked about 6 players off. Yes,
he's a big lad. Wigan used this sideways running there. Edwards coming along, bringing the forwards off him. Doesn't Kurt Soderson, number 11, look to be looking after his country colleague Shelford? No, just couldn't get it. Richard Ayres, knock on. Richard Ayres there, number 13, one of the new lads just making his way in the game, came from the Blackbrook Amateur Rugby League Club. And one thing about Coach Doug Lawton, he's certainly fashioned a new side here at Widnes. Just 3 players here from the last time that Widnes went to Wembley, the 2 O'Neill brothers and David Hume at scrum half. Completely reshaped side. Yes, scrum to Wigan. I think one of the problems here, Alec, with this scrum collapse is that I think Widnes are actually trying to destroy the scrums, aren't they? I think they realise they're up against
well, they're a little bit concerned about the way they took a right tonking last week in the scrum, you know, and the problem with... And this is what was problematic. You just watch Wigan here, they're going strong and hard. Now just look at Widnes as they buckle under the pressure.
Yep. One of the problems there, Alec, was that Kurt Sorensen was actually propping going in a downward movement, rather like a rugby union scrum than a rugby league scrum, where we normally would have our open side prop in an upright position.
Yes, I think what he's got to do is push up and not down, because he's tending to take the Widnes players to the floor.
That's right. Wigan now, first attack. Shelford. Jedburn looking for support, the support not really there. Usually we see this man here, number 1, Sean Edwards, calling the moves. Oh, that's a good ball. Steve Hampson coming up well on the outside there, the fullback. Edwards again. Good up and under. Courier doing well there, just to Pike. Wigan will want to put a clamp on this Widnes side here, make them kick, they do, and a hurried kick. Hampson. Oh, well, I thought he passed it. Well, he has now. Tony Iro. Big lad this, only 19 years of age, yet already a test player for New Zealand, the Wigan number 3. This is good stuff from Wigan. They've got an overlap here. Case possibly ran it a little bit too far, did Brian Case. Kiss. But the pressure on Widnes. First real attacks from Wigan. Edwards again. Well, Goodway took that ball rather lazily, Alec, didn't he? Yes, it looked as though he thought all he had to do was catch the ball and put it down under the sticks, Ray. He was very nonchalant and casual about that. Steve O'Neill. Typical Australian hooker there, Phil McKenzie. Australian hookers make a lot of play from the acting half-back position. There's certainly some pace in this Widnes three-quarter line. They're only young lads, Alec, but these two centres, Courier and Wright, they can both run and follow, can't they? Yes, I think what we'll have to do also, Ray, is that Widnes will want to keep Wigan in their own 25-yard line, because anywhere else, Wigan's also got pace in the three-quarter line, and with Edwards and Gregory at half-back, they'll be able to produce that little bit extra. Widnes again. They get the ball this time. Oh yes, definitely a kick, obviously for a fire. It's a tricky one too, but well done by Gill. And Gill's away now then. Who's got the pace? A fire? Oh, definitely. But he's still not got hold of Gill. That's good play from Henderson Gill. And that's a wild pass, but nevertheless, Jedburn. Well, we talked, Alec, about a battle between those two lads, and we saw some strength there from Henderson Gill, didn't we? And then we saw grit and resilience from a fire. I think so. What you also saw was that one lad with excessive pace and the other fella just coming back after injury. Oh, that's a good ball from Edwards. Byrne, he's got Tony Iro. This is tremendous rugby, but ideal conditions, as we said. The sun coming out now. And I think these Wigan players appreciating a dry ground under their feet for the first time since Christmas. And that's another good kick. And it's interesting to see Sean Edwards, Alex, kicking to Martin O'Fire's wing. Obviously some inexperience there coming from rugby. Well, he's obviously a little bit green in these circumstances. He's never been put under this kind of pressure. And I think Sean Edwards, being a very good footballer, he'll put the ball just short of him, knowing on this dry ground it can bounce anywhere. So, Widnes possession. 15 minutes gone, still no score. Well, that's a good ball from Graham West. He kept the ball flowing. To Potter. Did well to hold on to that ball in Potter, actually, to set the team in motion again. Edwards. And I think Barry Dowd felt that handoff too. Can't keep your eye off this little man. Andy Gregory, £130,000 Wigan paid for him a couple of seasons ago from Warrington, and he's certainly paying that money back.
Andy Goodway, Ray, now that he's behind the action half back now, it looks as though to me he's rather very confident, or he knows what's going to happen later on in the game, because he's just strolling about the field as though any time he'll do.
Edwards again, trying to keep the pressure on Hanley. Good kicking from Edwards. Pinpoint kicker. And of course the ball rolling dead, so tap out on the 25-yard. And who better to take it than Widnes assistant coach Kurt Sorensen. Mackenzie again, he's going from that acting half-back position all the time, isn't he?
Yes, and that's what he's got to do, Ray, to penetrate, because he knows that around that play the ball, they probably have two of the slowest men in Brian Case and Graham West, and he knows if he can penetrate from there and just latch onto a fight, it could be great all over.
Good ball to Pike, he's got space now then. He's got two men with him here, he's got Dowd, he's got Hume. Can he put the ball out to a fire? No. Well done by Hampson. Fire was calling for the ball, it wanted the long ball, but I don't think Derek Pike saw him. And so, promising movement there, gone to ground, and all credit to this man, Hampson. He did his job.
I think Dougie Lawton will be crying when he has a look at this. Look at the ball here, and just look at David Hume. Couldn't quite take the ball, but what a tackle for Steve Hampson. Doesn't only stop the man, but takes the ball.
Brian Case. Typical cup tie defence, Alec, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Ray, but I would be thinking after that last one, you know, chances like that win cup ties, and I think Dougie Lawton he'll have a few words to say when he gets in at half-time. That was definitely a try.
Andy Gregory. And another good tackle. Both sides coming up very, very quickly, making light of the 5-yard gap between the two sides. Oh, fire! Has he knocked it behind him? Yes, he has. Jim Smith waves play on. The lad, well, I think O'Fire, like me, felt that Jim Smith was waving play on, but he must have been signalling a knock-on. It seemed to go behind him.
And I think for once Jim Smith might have been wrong here. Just look as Martin O'Fire knocks the ball over his head, but backwards. And in rugby league, there's nothing wrong with that. There's also a little bit of a battle going on at scrum half with Gregory and Hume, Rage. You know, the two little tigers, they're pushing for Great Britain places, and I think these two will battle till the end.
Interesting move there, but the pass really wanted somebody to be running onto that. What Widnes were trying to do was to suck the forwards across there, make a gap in midfield, but it really wanted a back coming onto that. Kurt Sorensen. Oh, well done by O'Fire. Steve O'Neill. Is he in touch? Well, his head is. The touch judge is pushing him back. Well, it's a penalty. A penalty being given by Jim Smith against Nicky Case for forcing him into touch when, in fact, the referee had cried hell. It's 20 minutes gone, still looking for the first score of the match. No points each. And it's difficult to see where the try is going to come from with these defences, Alex.
Well, I think it'll come from about this position, Ray, because this is the space where Widnes look a bit dangerous with a short ball. They've made a couple of breaks, but not been able to finish them off.
Good switch. Oh, there was a chance of an interception there. One of those risky passes which, if they come off, you can score from. But the risk of an interception. And it should be Andy Gregory to put the ball. And the ball straight out there to Widnes. Pike. That's a good ball to Pike. He's got Barry down, going for the corner, but a good tackle again by Hampson. He certainly saved the situation twice. But it's Widnes looking lively in midfield.
I thought also then, Ray, that Jim Smith might have played the offside because all the Wigan players were running back and it looks as though he was well offside.
McKenzie. That's a good ball. Pike. Has he got the strength to go past Hampson? No, he hasn't again. That's the third tackle that Hampson saved the line for. Courier, and the fourth one. Richarders. Well, what's Rick Thackeray doing? I think Rick Thackeray there, number 2, would have been better advised to have done a little chip over the top rather than the up and under.
I think Widnes will be a bit disappointed also. Did not come away with you know, something rather than a 25 chap to Wigan, because they really had Wigan rocking them, and it was easier for them to put the ball over the line and not to score.
Any support off Derek Pike there, Derek, would have been a try.
Yes, I think that's what it needs. One or two of the half-backs just doing that little bit of a link.
Shelford. Wigan looking to send one or two of these big forwards like Weston Shelford down the middle, put a bit of pressure in midfield. Oh, that's a good ball to Gill. Yes, play on, 6 more tackles. Widnes not able to take advantage of that. Potter. And Gregory. An off-the-ball incident there. Andy Gregory hit when the ball had been passed. Touch judge Mr. John Mean. Mr. Mean, himself an experienced referee, assisting Jim Smith here.
And this is what we have here as Andy Gregory gets the ball. Just watch as he passes the ball. It comes on late here, and that's David Hume. I don't think he looked as bad as what he's making out to be.
Well, he looks to be in difficulties as Andy Gregory. And Jim Smith, well, at the scoreline, 0-0 to be sent there. I think it's to the sin bin, Alec, for
yes,
10 minutes.
And, to be quite honest, Ray, I did say that these two would be two little battlers right to the end. I think he's got 10 minutes in the sin bin for being caught, because the actual action didn't look as bad as what Andy's making it. He may have got a knock, but I think you'll see him bounce back up here, and it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't score off this.
Well, he's a hard little lad. There's not a lot puts him down. He's usually resilient. He bounces back. I think we'll see a lot more of him in this match. Surprising what that magic sponge can do. It cures anything. So, Widnes now down to 12 men for the next 10 minutes. And against a team with the attacking potential of Wigan, very, very difficult.
I think Dougie Lawton might also regret that little bit of indiscretion by David Hume, because he has been playing very, very well, and this is the time of the game where Widnes will not want Wigan to score.
Just 15 minutes to go then, to the first half. Goodwin, beginning to run now, like we know he can. Very experienced test forward, this lad, Andy Goodway. Just signed a new 4-year contract with Wigan. Keeping a very close grip on that number 3, Tony Iro, Alec.
Yes, well, I think after the try he scored last week at Widnes, Ray, we said he'd get a little bit more attention today. But Wigan will need a score now, and just before half-time.
Knock on. And again, a little inexperience there from O'Fire. He should have let the ball go over the dead ball line. He tried to take it, and that's a dropout.
Well, this could be nerves, it could be anything, but it also shows you that the guy is very, very inexperienced. This ball should have been allowed to go dead. It was harmless, and just look what Martin O'Fire does.
Hudson. So Wigan 6 more tackles. Very strong lad, this Hampson, for his size. He's worked a lot on the weights this summer to build himself up. Goodway. Good tackle there by his opposite number, Steve O'Neill. Case. Good forward combination there down the blind side. Oh, that's a good ball to West. Can he get it away? He does, to Edwards. Gregory, that's nicely judged. On fire again. And certainly Henderson Gill was in there. He knew what to expect. Andy Gregory judging again that O'Fire's inexperience could cost a try, putting the high ball up there. But this time Widnes getting away with it. Jim Smith judging that there was an offside decision.
I think Widnes, Ray, if they can just get over this spell now and without any points being added from Wigan, will fancy the chance a little bit. But Wigan look as though they're rushing a little bit. They seem keen to put points on the board, and they know that if David Hugh comes back, they could have a problem.
Sorensen. This boy, Derek Pike, one of the few ball-playing prop forwards in the game. He's lost it there, but usually he likes to drive down the middle and give the short passes out to the second rows. Very good sleight of hand, this lad.
I think he'll be very disappointed in that situation, because the rule says now, Ray, that you must not try to make ground when you're tackled. And, you know, Nicky Kiss is an expert at taking the ball when a man's held.
A lot of problems with those scrums. Widnes trying to swing them round. Oh, that's a good ball from Edwards to Tony Iro. Just not got the pace there on Rick Thackeray. Potter. To me, Alex, looks to be one who could cause danger. If somebody comes alongside him there when he gets that short pass out. Well,
he's had 2 little breaks now, and anybody in support, there've been 2 tries.
Gregory. Oh, just couldn't get the ball away there, Goodway. Tony Iro there, number 3, shakes his head. Would have been a try, but just couldn't get the ball.
And this is what Goodway does very well here. He takes the ball on the short side, a lovely run around Sean Edwards, Andy Gregory. Now watch Goodway here, just releases the ball, whoop, could have gone over then.
And O'Fire did well there to stop the movement. Certainly made a tremendous impact on the game, this number 5. We don't get many players coming into the game from London Rugby Union. I can remember Tom Danby and Adrian Alexander from the Harlequins Club, and Bob Mordell also from Rosslyn Park, but not very many.
I think we're having all kinds of problems, Ray, with this scrummaging. The Widnes pack is all over the floor. It can't hold the Wigan pack. It just can't keep it in one stable position.
Well, certainly they're scrummaging better than last week. The scores at the moment are the Wigan 5 scrums to Widnes' 4, so it is having an effect. I think Widnes really are disrupting the pack as much as they can on it.
Well, what they want to do is get David Hume back on the field. They realised that Widnes took an absolute toiling last week with Wigan, but they're just stopping the game from being played.
And it's amazing, but it's always the poor hookers who catch out in this. I don't think refs realise the damage that prop forwards can do. Oh, that's a beautiful move. Edwards to Iro. Should have gone outside. Hesitated, should have gone outside. But Wigan on the attack. Byrne. Edwards again, making things tick here now. Good tackle there by Mackenzie. Just 9 minutes to go in this first half. Score still, Wigan 0, Widnes 0. Gregory. Well, he's certainly recovered from that knock with his opposite number, David Hume.
You've got to worry, Ray, and say why Wigan can't make this extra man pace, because all they've got to do, there must be a gap somewhere if they move the ball out wide.
Hampson's there, be a drop out. It's significant, I think, Alec, that Wigan are having to kick so much from this lad Hampson, because lacking Lydon, lacking Bell, they just haven't got the pace in the three-quarter line.
That's right, and just watch this little lad. He kicks the ball now. Watch how high he gets up. He knows where the ball's going to go. Watch him. He rockets off the floor here.
But the tactic does keep the pressure on Widnes. The drop out here under the post.
It was nice to see also the little bit of gamesmanship which coming from Widnes then. They know minutes are ticking away and David Hume's ready to come back on.
Gregory. These two half-backs, Andy Gregory and Sean Edwards, the two Great Britain half-backs. This is where the danger's coming from. The run-around movements, the short passes. Five yards now from this Wigan line, from this Widnes line. Gregory. That's a good short ball to West. Has he got somebody alongside him? He has. Nicky Kiss just can't get over. Good tackle there by Derek Pike and Steve O'Neill. Edwards. And the sixth tackle. Edwards again. A little bit of panic here now in the Wigan ranks to make use of this ball. Tony Iro. He's got the run. It's still going. Remember, they've only got this one tackle. Oh, he's knocked on. Well, didn't Wigan put the pressure on there? Tremendous use there. The knock on the sixth tackle, of course. Not a scrum. Under the new rule, the ball handed over to the opposition.
I think Widnes, Ray, will be thanking the lucky stars that they got away with that, because Wigan put them under a tremendous amount of pressure. And David Hume has arrived back on the field, and he must thank his lucky stars, the number 7, saying, well, at least we was level when I went off and we're level when I've come back on.
And Hume, their number 7, already in the action. To Myler. But those kicks, no real problem for Hampson. And although we've got no points in this first half, I think both these two sides taking a lot out of each other, aren't they? I think we could have some tries later.
Oh yes, I would think so. That Widnes have had 2 or 3 chances, and Wigan are starting to realise they've got to put points on the board. I think you'll find out that once one side does break the deadlock, the floodgates will open.
Just 5 minutes to go then to the half-time. Both sides looking to put the first points on the board. Hard cut-time rugby. Pike. That's a good switch to Sorensen. Back to Pike again. Oh, and a beautiful one-handed pass from Pike. This man can really make a ball talk in midfield. Sorensen again. Powerful forward. The sixth tackle now. Is it worth a drop at goal? I think it is, from John Myler. And it looks to be a good one. It is. Well, the old adage, never come away from the line without points, and John Myler there, 10 seasons in the game, certainly sets those Widnes fans jumping. 1-0 there for Widnes. A drop goal in rugby league, of course, only 1 point.
I think what you've got to say, just watch John Myler here, no problem, all the time in the world, time to admire his perfection and his profession, and a very important goal. I think what we've got to realise, Ray, if, for the viewers who are switching on, it's only 1 point for a drop goal, and it's not. We're not playing soccer. It's 1-0 to Widnes.
Yes, in rugby league, just 1 point for the drop goal. Richard Ayres.
I think it would be the first time in history if we carried on for 40 minutes in the second half with this result, Ray, 1-0.
Well, I'll have a little bet, Alec. I don't think we will.
Not a gambling man, Ray.
Mackenzie again, making good use of that acting half-back roll, and that's a good pass again from Pike. He's certainly split the defence. He's barried down to O'Fire now. Then what can O'Fire do with this? He beats one man. But a bad drop there. Bad drop there from Andy Currier. Henderson Gill.
I think again, Ray, that Widnes will be very, very disappointed with the end result of that move. They've split the Wigan defence time and time again in this first half, and the finishing is just letting them down.
Potter. Certainly Widnes have had the chances in this half, Alex, to have been, what, 12, 14 points in the league?
Yes, I think they could have been out of sight. What's amazing me is the breaks they're making, that they're not kicking the ball to the line for O'Fire, because he must be 10 yards faster than anybody on the field.
That's a good ball from Gregory, but no real support. There's really, Alec, a lack of pace out there on that left wing in Tony Iro and Jed Byrne, isn't it? The two Widnes lads have got all the time in the world against them.
Well, I think they've been getting some big rave notices, but I think the Kiwi star, Dean Bell, will be just wondering, when am I going to be back, and when am I be getting chances like that?
So, scrum down, Widnes ball. David Hume now. Spent his 10 minutes in the sin bin. John Myler. Hume again. Just a minute to go, and just that 1 point lead that Widnes are clinging to. Barry down, Sorensen.
He's having a good game, this little lad, Ray, this David Hume. He's running with the ball, he's creating a lot of chances, and they've been a little bit unlucky not to finish one or two of them off.
Myler, well picked up there by Gill. Good tackle. Just into injury time now in this first half. Wigan look to be going in, trailing by 1-0. Hardly what the big crowd here expected. But Widnes won this trophy 7 times in their history. 7 times at Wembley in the last 14 seasons, and when the cup comes round, they suddenly seem to blossom. Andy Goodway to Hansen. But the movements are all petering out, Alec, on the wings, aren't they?
Yes, but I think you've got to admire the Widnes tackling there, because it's been really, really good. And I don't think Kirk Sorensen will be very, very happy about that, because it's right on full time, and that could be a very costly decision.
Couple of minutes of injury time, of course, for the Andy Gregory incident. Wigan really got to make advantage of this. They don't want the hooter to go on them here in an attacking position. Goodway to Byrne. Back to Edwards. Gregory. That's a good ball from Shelford. Now then, here's a 3-2 situation. Potter really, I don't think he should have missed the man out. There is the hooter, that first half, it's all over. Referee James Smith putting a stop to the proceedings. Just what would you have said at half-time to Wigan?
What's going to happen, Ray, is that obviously Dougie Lawton will look at himself and say, well, how come we're only 1-0 up? Because Widnes have looked the better side in the first half. They've had 3 or 4 chances and probably might rue the day that they've not put them chances away. But I think that Graham Lowe will have to start saying to his half-backs, start moving that ball out wide, otherwise we've got no chances.
Yes, Widnes will be very, very pleased at this, but I think that boy there coming out, Derek White, with a little bit of grief that 1 or 2 of those breaks and passes of his didn't lead to points. But a lot of the creative play in midfield here, coming from Sean Edwards and his partner Andy Gregory, not really getting much effect, Alec, is it? Because I think the 2 Widnes centres, Andy Courier and Darren Wright, they've got too much pace on the outside for Wigan. Yes,
I think what's happening, Ray, young Andy Courier and Darren Wright are closing Kevin Iro and Jed Byrne down. And they've been a little bit unlucky on a couple of occasions not to put the final touches to what could have been certain Widnes scores.
Yes, we may see Andy Gregory, I think, taking the ball a little bit more himself and going down midfield, playing with the forwards. But an absorbing battle, 1-0. John Myler certainly not needing a sand bucket today to put that ball on. There must be tons and tons of it on this pitch, but the ground staff have done a first-class job. They've provided good footing underneath.
I think Dougie Lawton, Ray, would just be saying to the lads in the dressing room, if we can tackle as well as we tackled in the first half, you know, we've got a big chance, because they did all Widnes, and Wigan put them under tremendous amounts of pressure and couldn't actually breach the defence.
Graham West. Gregory. Oh, Hansen looking for support, he found it in Shelford. To Byrne. But this is the problem. Not so much the lost ball by Jed Byrne, but the inability to make the outside break against these 2 fit, fast lads, Courier and Wright in the Widnes centres. And a penalty there because Widnes stealing the ball once the tackle has been made. You can steal the ball in rugby league whilst the play is in motion, but not once the referee has called a halt to the play. And a good kick from Hansen. Goodway trying to use this big barnstorming forward here. Adrian Shelford, test player in New Zealand.
Graham West, Ray, has actually looked Wigan's best best forward. He's making some breaks, and I think he could do with a little bit more support.
Well, he's lost the ball. Good steal there, an example of what I was just saying there, that stealing the ball whilst the game was in motion. And there's nothing more frustrating, Alec, is there, than when somebody steals the ball from you.
No, I think you have a few choice words to say to the gentleman concerned, and just hopes that his understanding won't happen again.
Good tackle there from Kevin Potter, driving Widnes back 10 yards. And although we've had no points, the purists certainly appreciating this tackling. It's fierce, but in the main it's fair. And Mackenzie there didn't make the ball bounce. Much more difficult in rugby league to find touch, of course. When the rugby league broke away way back in 1895, it only took 7 years before the law was brought in that the ball had to bounce into touch. Makes it more difficult.
I think the danger period and the danger position is this now, where Andy Gregory just has the ball from Ray.
Interesting to see there Andy Goodway taking up the full back row while Hampson went actually into the loose forward position. Wigan trying to push Goodway's strength and use it down the middle. Very, very interesting tactic there by Graham Lowe. Shelford again. Nobody breaking through this tight Widnes cover. Byrne. In the Widnes coach, Doug Lawton's previous coaching spell with Widnes, he had 5 years from 1978 to 83, and he took Widnes to Wembley 3 times. He certainly has the know-how to get to Wembley. Tony Iro. Pike sensibly holding the ball, allowing his forwards to get back. Just waiting for them to regroup. Another good tackle there by number 12. Ian Potter. I wouldn't be surprised, Alec, if the first try came from a mistake rather than a break.
No, and these are the positions where Wigan really should be, utilising the position they're in, because they really look very, very ordinary when they have the ball in their hands, and I'm just wondering whether a little chip over the top from Andy Gregory and Sean Edwards following would work a little bit better.
Still Andy Gregory then to put the ball in. Good battle between Hume and Gregory there. A lot of people's favourites to be the Great Britain Tour half-backs. Widnes still with a 1-point lead, just 5 minutes gone. The referee Jim Smith there judging that the Wigan front row not putting their heads into the gap, not allowing Widnes to get into the scrum. O'Neill. To David Hume, looking again for that switch movement to Barry Dow. That's a good ball to Richard Earls. Now then, he's got a fire coming on his outside. He can't get the ball to him. How many times are Widnes going to break this initial cover, only to go down the last hurdle? David Hume now. But certainly, Alec, that pace in midfield is the difference, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and I'm very, very surprised, Ray, that they've not learned from the first 3 or 4 breaks they made in the first half. And when Martin fires alongside, all they've got to do is put the ball down the field, because he must be 10, 15 yards faster than any player on the field.
And Jim Smith there just having a little...
I just watched David Hume here. Martin fires screaming for the ball. He never looks. He's got the ball in the wrong hand. There's no way he can pass the ball, and when he does, it's too late.
And Wigan's problems, I think, are accentuated by the fact that they've got 2 forwards on substitute. They've got Sean Wayne, the Great Britain prop, and Ian Lucas, the under-21s prop or second row. So there's no real injection of pace that they can bring on in the three-quarter line.
They've not got too much pace, and Widnes are closing them down very, very quickly. I think what they're going to have to rely on is half a break and people like Sean Edwards and Iro just to finish it off.
Gregory. much to do yet, this wing Rick Thackeray. Widnes signed him from Warrington. Mackenzie. That was a good ball, but that was a good tackle. Good Widnes forward play this. Mike O'Neill. Oh, well picked up by Sorensen for such a big man. This is tremendous forward play. He's got a fire loose. Oh, and a knock-on. Well, it looked a knock-on, but it's still going off fire. A beautiful ball to Richard Ayres. And it's still going to Mike O'Neill, but he's in touch. Well, what a juggling act that was by the Widnes side. We must have had a dozen passes strung together there. And no try in the end, but there looks to be a penalty on the cards. Referee Jim Mills having a word with Steve O'Neill.
Well, I don't know about you, Ray, but I think this was a try here. I think he flicked the ball back long before he went into touch. Now just watch O'Neill here. To me, that looked a try. There'll be some talking points about that one.
Well, there certainly will be some talking points, Alex, but also was there a knock-on earlier in that movement?
Well, we're talking about the final instant, Ray, and he's been given in touch, and for my money, the ball was flicked inside long before he went in touch.
Yes, I agree. That's rugby league. That's what takes sides to the cup final or not. 1-0 for Widnes, and the temperature, Alex, suddenly lifting now, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and also it's lifting because of Widnes. They're penetrating more now into this Widnes defence and Wigan defence, and all they've got to do is just finish one of the chances off.
Henderson Gill. Coach Graham Lowe had to take a gamble with Henderson Gill. He really wanted some doing coming back into a match as intense as this after almost 10 weeks out of the game. Shelford. Tremendous tackling stint there from that Widnes lad, Mike O'Neill. John Myler. He'll just hold this ball, take it down the middle. 10 minutes gone, still 1 point difference between the two sides. Widnes 1, Wigan 0.
I think if there is a difference between the two sides is that Widnes look as though they've got that extra yard of pace in the three quarters. They're moving the ball back inside, a lovely short ball now and again, and keep varying the play a little bit.
Yes, ball behind there. That's a good ball, but has it gone forward? It has now. Andy Currier doing the right thing there. There was a mistake. Get the ball into touch.
I think if Martin had fired, Ray could just read Derek Pike's play and latch on to one of them passes, I think it could really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
And the difficulty here for Wigan, they're now going into a 2-1 scrum situation, 10 scrums to 5, yet still 1 point down, but here's a chance. Oh, Henderson Gill couldn't take the ball. He looks at Steve Hampson, he says, if we can read his mind, what do you call that for a pass?
Well, I don't think he looks at him, Ray, and I don't think Steve Hampson should have passed this. Henderson Gill could never get to this ball. He'd have to be Flash Gordon to get to that.
Yes, just having a word is Henderson. Widnes ball. And an offside decision. Referee Jim Smith quite rightly adjudging that Potter left the scrum, moved around his blind side and stopped Hume in his tracks.
It's a bit strange to hear the chants from Wigan supporters, Ray, come on Wigan, but to be fair to this Widnes side, they're tackling well and they look the better of the two sides.
And one interesting point, Ali, when did you and I last watch a game? We haven't seen a kick at goal yet.
No, we've not, and the discipline on both sides, apart from one little incident with the little guy who's got the ball, Hume. It's been good on both sides.
Widnes in the driving seat. John Myler. Oh, he's lost it. Now then, Wigan, 6 tackles. What can they do with it? Andy Gregory. Not really going anywhere. Little men don't want to be running into big men like that. You don't last long in the game. Shelford to West. Oh yes, he's got Tony Iro with him. Oh, that's a bad pass.
I think what we're lacking at the moment, Ray, in this Wigan side, we've been talking about captains and, you know, Sean Edwards being the captain of Wigan. He's only 20 and 21, and I just wonder when the pressure gets on top of him, whether he can control the rest of the lads and tell them what to do.
It'll be interesting. But Widnes throwing the ball about here with reckless abandon.
Well, I think they realise, Ray, that they only need one of these three-quarter line to latch on to one of them short balls, and I think they can go the full length of the field.
Hampson. And good support play there from Rick Thackeray and Andy Currier. It's all right kicking a ball downfield, but people have got to support and stop the man making progress. Kiss. Andy Goodwave, not seen an awful lot of this lad. Not really running. He looks to be stopping, Alec, when he gets to the opposition.
Well, they believe that, you know, Ray, what they say is that the game plan is not in progress, and I think Wigan at this moment in time could do more than just a game plan, just a general idea of what to do when they've got the ball, because they see him at 6s and 7s and don't know what to do. And here we have a simple little thing where Andy Gregory can't run with the ball. Widnes have a go, Wigan have another go. It's anybody's.
Gregory feeding the ball into the scrum, not straight, says referee Jim Smith from Halifax. Widnes still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. Just 15 minutes gone in this second half. 1-0 for Widnes. And could this 1 point be enough to see them through to the semi-finals?
They say strange things happen in rugby league, Ray, but I think this would be a strange thing if this score stood.
Well, it was only 2 points last time we were here, Alex, wasn't it?
Yes, that is correct, and you know, I think Widnes coach Doug Lawton would definitely settle for a 1-0. It is only 1-0 to Widnes, and it's been a very, very good game, and if Widnes just take the chances, it could have been a lot more.
Oh, that's a good ball. Richard Ayres coming more and more into the game now. Derek Pike. Richard Ayres now, he's got the chance for the line. Yes! No, he's on his back. He's on his back. All credit to referee Jim Smith. Richard Ayres looked to be over, but tremendous refereeing position there, taken up by Jim Smith. He was on the spot.
Well, I would like to say that, Rabe, and I think Mr. Smith's going to look at this tonight and said, please God, don't let me be wrong again, because look, does his weight take him over or what? It's very close.
Well, it certainly did look exceptionally close, Alec, didn't it? It looked as if he was almost down there.
Yes, it does, and put that together with Mike O'Neill's effort, and Widnes will not be very, very happy at this moment in time. The interesting thing is, Ray, is the way that Widnes are splitting the Wigan defence, and with a little bit more patience, really this game should have been all over.
Certainly Wigan really in difficulties here, and if Widnes ever lose this match, well...
And this is what we have, Ray. Just look at this very, very carefully. Watch his weight. Does his weight take him over? I think it does.
Yeah. Yes, I think many would have given that try, Alec, but the referee, the sole arbiter of play, and he was on the spot.
Yes, and one thing about rugby league, which is the nice thing, Ray, you don't argue with the guy in the middle.
Unless you're a coach, Alex. But Andy Gregory. And there seems to be a confidence in this Widnes side now. They're moving up very, very quickly into the tackle.
And a lot of people thought today, with the dry ground, that Wigan would have the advantage, Ray, after last week at Norton Park, where it was very, very heavy, and Widnes seemed to struggle. This time they're putting Wigan under the pressure.
That's another good kick from Gregory. Masterly kick, perfectly judged. Pinpoint accuracy there from Gregory. Trying to raise his side. And you well know, Alec, that in a side, if you don't put your chances away, very soon the game goes against you. And
yes,
could
it
this
does.
happen?
And it normally makes the other side make you pay. But when you get kicks like that, and Andy Gregory, it really breaks your heart. And this is a position now where Widnes have been attacking constantly for the last 20 minutes, and Eddie Golden been made to pay for missed chances.
And that's a good heel by Phil McKenzie.
I think, Ray, just talking about the healing of the ball then, McKenzie, the Widnes hooker, got beat 13-3 with Nicky Case. Colin Clark has been down to show McKenzie what to do. I think his coaching's worked.
Yes, it's just 11 scrums to 6 at the moment, Alex. He's had an improvement. But these kicks by Widnes are a little bit aimless, straight down the middle to Hampson. Henderson Gill likes to come racing in field. He's a strong lad.
He just doesn't look anything like fit to me, Ray. He's struggling. I mean, you can understand he's been out for 12 weeks with a bad knee injury, probably a cartilage operation, and he's just probably missing a yard of pace.
Wigan looking to move this ball. Ryan Case, Shelford. Edwards. That's a good ball. It's a good way. But there's no way through on these outsides. Time and time again we've seen Wigan in trouble here. The sixth tackle coming up. Oh, that's a knock-on. Well, terrible problem there for poor John Myler. Difficult ball to take, and just look at David Hume there. He's only a youngster, but he knows what should be done. Having a word of consolation.
Well, I think John Miley absolutely wished the ground could open up and swallow him. He did this exactly the same last week, and it cost him the game. Is it going to happen again?
Gregory to Hampson. Here's a good chance to Tony Iro. He's going in the corner, and he is in at the corner. Well, poor John Myler. The knock-on gave Wigan the chance from the scrum, and might well Sean Edwards rush across there as captain. A very, very relieved man. I was saying that if you can't put the chances away in this game of rugby league, very often the sport goes against you. And relief from that Wigan crowd.
I don't think they should hug him here. Beautiful ball of Stevie Hampson here, and a lovely ball to Ido. He has to score this. It's a good try, and just shows you miss him at the other end, you put him down right there.
And 4 points to 1 for Wigan, and in a sense, Alec, that's the first chance in this match that Wigan have had.
Yes, and all through a mistake, and that's what you've got to look at, Ray. You've got to check your chances in Rugby League Challenge Cup games.
And Henderson Gill to kick. Not really a successful kicker for Wigan. Wigan have had Lydon and David Stevenson kicking for them, who's now at Leeds. A far cry from the great days of Jim Sullivan when he used to kick for them. So, no goal. 4 points to 1 then for Wigan. 60 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go, and everything to play for yet. You still get the feeling that Widnes, the pace in their midfield could still cause problems. But one chance to Wigan. Wigan have taken it, and they're in the lead.
I can't believe what Dougie Lawton, the Widnes coach, must be going through on that bench, Ray. He's seen his side put several chances down, and all of a sudden Wigan pop up with one chance after a mistake and put it away.
Kevin Iro. Just 18 minutes to go. Just 3 points difference between these two sides. 4 points to 1 for Wigan. Either of these two teams would grace the Challenge Cup final at Wembley on the last Saturday in April. Hume again gets the ball. Phil Mackenzie doing a good job here now at hooker for Widnes. O'Fire. John Myler, from whose tragic knock-on can he retrieve himself? Myler coming down the middle. And just look at number 5 for Widnes there, Martin O'Fire, trying to get in on the act. Andy Courier.
I think Widnes will just throw caution to the wind. They realise they've got to score and score very, very quickly.
David Hume. Good tackle by Brian Case. Mackenzie. Oh, good inside pass from Mackenzie to Andy Courier, but a good tackle by Gregory. Widnes still pressing 2 yards from this Wigan line. Plays it himself, but it's play on. Still going. No, that went behind him. Derek Pike. No. 6th tackle.
I think what Derek Pike's saying, Ray, did that come off a Wigan player? And if so, it was play on. But I think you'll find that it did just come back to the Widnes player.
Hampson. Well, it's certainly all action now. We might not have had many points, but we've certainly got tension. Andy Goodway. Can he raise his game in this final quarter? And Henderson Gill coming in on the act. I'm sure Wigan, Alec, won't want to stay too long down here. They'll be looking for the kick, surely.
Yes, I think also they'll be want to get out of their own half and hope that they can put some more pressure on Widnes. But Widnes have nothing to lose now, and they realise that they've got to throw caution to the wind.
And here is the kick from Steve Hampson. Oh, it's a good one. Not found touch, but it certainly put 70 yards distance between the two sides. Hume. And it's significant, Alec, that Widnes are moving the ball across to that left wing now to O'Fire.
Yes, I think they realise that Martin O'Fire is the man who can win them the game, and the ropes may pin on this. But it's a pity that some of the chances they didn't have earlier, they just saw him on his shoulder.
Mackenzie, 15 minutes to go, 3 points between the two sides. Well, that's an unusual pass, but it keeps the play going. Richard Ayres, he's lost it. Sean Edwards sensibly there, not attempting to scoop the ball up, just taking the tackle. Andy Goodway. That's a good ball to Hampson. Had a good game, this fullback, Steve Hampson. Saved Wigan in the first half with 2 try-saving tackles. And made the vital pass for that try. Hampson again to Case. He's got Goodway with him. Oh, beautiful ball from Goodway. Kevin Iro just couldn't get it away, but this is good stuff now. Edwards again to Byrne, to Gregory. Well, one dummy too many. Phil Mackenzie, the Widnes hooker, spotting Gregory there. That's good play from Hampson. Penalty. Yes, I don't think he's any need to complain. Playing the ball after the tackle was made.
I think we had some good play ruined by some bad play. Steve Hampson must have known that he was held there and just flicked the ball up off the floor.
Widnes now back in contention. Oh, that was a silly pass. Silly pass from Steve O'Neill. He'd made the gap.
I think what Kirk Sorensen, the Widnes captain, Ray, needs to be going and saying to his players, come on, settle down a bit. There's 10 minutes left for play yet, and we can't afford to just throw the chances like they are doing.
There's a little bit of panic play amongst both sides, Alec. I don't think either of them feel sure of themselves, do they?
Well, I think they realise that Widnes are still in this with a chance, and with one break he could win them the match. But they are throwing the ball without Lucan, who's in support, and they can't win cup ties doing that.
Pike. Barry Dowd. Hume, has he got the break? Oh, tried to get the ball away, but Henderson Gill clutches it.
I'm very surprised that nobody's latched onto this one. The way a Fire can score is by putting the ball to the line and letting him chase it.
Gregory. Shelford. Very rarely broke the Widnes tackling shield. Oh, good play by Sean Edwards. This lad is Wigan skipper. Cost £35,000 on his 17th birthday, and my word, how that money looks cheap these days. Just 12 minutes to go now in this third round. The sixth tackle coming up. That's a low raking kick there, puts the pressure on Thackeray. But the Wigan tacklers, I think, not up as quick as what they should be.
Oh, and this is why we're saying why Widnes shouldn't panic as much as they are panicking there, because when you realise that cup ties can be won actually at the death, you know, you should never actually panic until the games are actually over.
Pike. One delicate pass from this big lad to a back, could seal the match. Barry Dow. And touch. Henderson Gill did well to get back there, not really got his full pace back. A lot of restricted mobility there from this lad, a lot of knee trouble. Now then, vital scrum, and Widnes get it. I've been impressed with the play of this lad today, Alex.
Yes, I think this number 7, David Hume, has come out on top, Ray. He's had a tremendous game against Andy Gregory, and that's not an easy thing to do in itself, but he has played well. He was 10 minutes in the sin bin, but he's been competitive and led the Widnes charge all along the line.
Well, now there's an interesting decision, Alex. John Myler went for touch. There's 10 minutes to go in this match, and that was a kickable chance at penalty, wasn't it?
Maybe, Ray. Maybe they want to win it outright, but they're going to have to score from one of these plays.
Richard Ayres. McKenzie to Mike O'Neill. Knock off. Well, Alex, less than 10 minutes to go, 4 points to 1 for Wigan. I'm sure I would have gone for goal there.
Well, I think that might have been a possibility, Ray, but really Widnes are just panicking all the time. I mean, 4-1 is not a big score, and why they're having to pass the ball on the first tackle absolutely beats me.
Sean Edwards spotted the gap, did very well to come away there, gained 20 yards. One of the advantages of having a half-back in the acting half-back position. Very often a hooker can spot the gap, but can't go the crucial 20 yards. Certainly Kurt Sorensen has looked after Andy Goodway this afternoon. Wherever Goodway's tried to go, Sorensen's been there with that defensive tackle. Now then, the Fire. Beats one man, beats two men, beats three men, but doesn't beat the fourth.
The problem is now, Ray, he's got to get back over that wing because it's wide open out there and there's no wingman, and I don't think Widnes can win with him on the touchline.
Good play from Pike, a good dummy and a good forceful run. Just over 8 minutes left, 3 points difference between the two sides. Surely the next try would take one of them into the semi-final. Hume to Barry Dow. Had a sound, sensible game, this lad. Not played in the stand-off position before, been asked by Widnes coach Doug Long to do a job, and he's done it in the main.
think we're finding out, Ray, now the problem's here. Martin Offiah has still not got back on his wing. Maybe he's hoping that there's going to be a little bit of a break and he's going to latch onto it.
Well taken by Hampson. He tells me he was a gymnast when he was at school, and certainly he developed a spring in those legs to take that ball. That was a crucial catch. Takes the pressure off Wigan. Shelford. Rick Thackeray, desperate to get possession, trying to put him into touch. And Wigan really having great difficulty getting away from here, aren't they?
Yes, they are. It's a strange game, rugby league, when you come to think that Wigan's had one chance and put it away. Widnes have probably had 8 or 9 chances and still they're losing.
Now that's a difficult kick for John Myler, picking the ball up only a yard from his own line. He's got to throw caution to the wind. He gets it to Offiah again. Widnes now throwing this ball anywhere. They know they've got to score. Barry Dowd. It's almost like basketball now. And interesting to see that, in fact, Martin Offiah's come off the wing, and here he is again. In fact, Alec, he's playing him more in a centre position to get the ball.
Well, he obviously knows there's only him who can go the length of the field, but I'm very, very surprised at the way they're doing it. They're throwing the ball out without people being in support, and really, I know they only need one chance to win the game, but they're not doing it going down the middle.
Just less than 6 minutes to go. Derek Pike. Let's give praise to the tackling stints of this Wigan side. They've been under pressure. Steve O'Neill.
Well, they tell me, Ray, that only forwards can think like that, and why Steve O'Neill kicked that ball then, I'll never know.
As an ex-forward, I'll not comment. Oh, beautiful dummy from Gregory, but well read there by Hume. And what a battle we've had between those two scrum halves. Tony Iro. Jed Byrne. Wigan now coming back. Brian Case. This is good stuff. Oh, the beautiful number from Case now then. It's a race between these two men. The second row, Kurt Sorensen just had the legs on the prop. But Wigan now with the pressure. Potter. Shelford. Good long pass to Goodway. Just less than 5 minutes to go. And what a match for this 18,000 crowd here, absorbing, spectacular at times, but I'm sure all 18,000 and they've been kept interested. That's a good ball from Edwards. Oh, the beautiful double from Hampson. He must be in. He is. That must be the killer punch of my man of the match. Stevie Hampson coming in again on that left wing. The last time it was his pass that did it. This time it's his dummy that's done it. And despite Widnes pulverising that Wigan line for an hour, having all the chances, Wigan have had 2 and taken 2.
Well, would you believe it? They'll make this little guy, Stevie Hampson, the man of Wigan tonight. A beautiful dummy, slips inside, some very, very poor tackling, but what a good try.
And of course, with less than 4 minutes left and the scoreline of 8 points to 1, the vital 6-point difference there. And this kick really doesn't matter. And a different kicker, Kevin Iro this time. And Wigan really are in difficulties with the kickers. He's only kicked 1 goal this season. As I said earlier, Joe Lydon and Stevenson, the usual kickers for Wigan. It's a far cry from the days when the great kicker Jim Sullivan here kicked 22 goals against Flimby and Fothergill in the Challenge Cup all those years ago. But this attempt does waste time. Just over 2 minutes left. Oh, and it's a good effort. It's a magnificent effort. Well, I'll take back every word I said. He'd only kicked 1 goal this season. There's his second, and what a goal! Kevin Iro, 10 points to 1, and surely Wigan are going to progress now to the semi-final.
Well, this is a beautiful try by Wigan. Stevie Hampson here, like I said, lovely ball of little Sean Edwards here. Beautiful ball, slips it out to Stevie Hampson. Beautiful dummy, you cannot believe, you should never take dummies like that. But this kid won't believe that, what a good try.
And substitute there, number 15, Ian Lucas coming on for the Wigan skipper, Sean Edwards. Edwards has had a little ankle trouble. Wigan will hold on to this ball. Tony Iro, good run. He came across as an amateur, this lad from New Zealand. He just came across to gain some experience, and who knows, he could be on his way to treading the famous Wembley turf. To a fire. But no way through. They've well policed him. And man of the match, Steve Hampson, adjudged by the press, and my man of the match too. Tremendous in defence in the first half, and in the second half when the opportunities came, the creator and the scorer of the 2 tries. But all credit to Widnes, Alec. They've made this a tremendous match of rugby league, haven't they? I mean, they created the chances, they've had good play, just lacked the finishing power.
Well, I think what you've got to be able to say, Ray, for Widnes to only have 1 point on the board, they'll be very, very disappointed, because they've played a big part in this game, and it's really been a cracking game, although there's not been that many points scored.
And a lost ball again from Derek Pike. Last minute now of normal time. Ian Lucas, he'll be pleased to get on there. Sean Edwards has had ankle trouble in the last few weeks. Graham Lowe probably thinks now that the match is won. Hampson again. Oh, and he still manages to beat the man.
Well, Ray, I can say one thing, that he's one of the few kids that I did sign at Wigan, and it makes you pleased when you see a little lad like him winning the man of the match, and not only winning it because he's played well.
Well, we're into injury time. There's a bit of a problem. The little lads are coming onto the field. Has the hooter gone? Yes, it's gone. Wigan are through. Surprisingly, Wigan, they haven't beaten Widnes for over 42 years in a Challenge Cup tie. The last time...